Even as the latest installments have reinvigorated the series, Matthew Lillard admits to having one gripe with the new Scream movies. Lillard starred in the franchise-launching original as Stu Macher, one of the two teens revealed to be the Ghostface killer, though was defeated and seemingly killed in that movie's ending. Though the franchise has seemingly moved beyond him, Lillard has always remained hopeful to make a Scream return, expressing that Stu survived his climactic fight with Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott. During a recent interview with Games Radar Plus, Lillard opened up about his thoughts on the current state of the Scream franchise. Though the star was largely positive in his views, expressing his love for what Radio Silence did with the past two movies, he did admit to being happier that creator Kevin Williamson is back in creative control for Scream 7, feeling that the recent installments were too violent. See what Lillard explained below. What Lillard's comments mean for Scream's future. Williamson may be aiming for a subtler approach. Though Wes Craven's original installments in the franchise weren't necessarily tame, Lillard's comments about the recent Scream movies' violence does show the different approach Radio Silence brought to the franchise. When comparing the trajectories of the late horror icon with the directing team, Radio Silence did come from a much harder R-rating past than Craven by the time he got to the slasher franchise, with the latter instead being better known for telling psychologically tense horror stories than visceral experiences. One of the prime examples of the different approaches between the two is Craven's original A Nightmare on Elm Street. Where the sequels became known for their intricate and gruesome death sequences, the 1984 classic was a more subdued one, including a few brutal kills, but generally staying focused on a chilling atmosphere. Radio Silence, on the other hand, have often displayed a fondness for gore throughout their filmography, whether in the explosive Ready or Not ending or the comedic chaos of Abigail. As such, in having Williamson not only as the writer, but also in the director's chair for the next installment, Scream the 7th of May returned to the subtler nature of Craven's movies. The gory kills of the past two movies weren't inherently poorly received by critics or fans of the franchise, save for Dewey's divisive death in the 2022 installment. But with many of Williamson's movies taking a similar approach to avoiding over-the-top gore, the next sequel may feel closer to the originals than Radio Silence's. Our take on violence in the Scream franchise. Diverse voices keep the kills feeling fresh. Ghostface with a bloody knife in Scream. As a longtime horror genre fan, I can certainly appreciate a desire for more subtle violence as much as those who appreciate visceral kills, and I think that the different styles of Radio Silence and Wes Craven with the Scream movies are what make them all great in their own rights. While Dewey's death is definitely divisive, the intense visual of it still nicely fit the moment for me, considering he'd survived so many other near-death encounters with Ghostface, and as such it left no doubt about his fate when it comes to the future of the Scream franchise. Regardless of what Williamson brings to the next installment, I think having filmmakers willing to take different approaches to the kills will help keep things feeling fresh, even if the story plays true to the iconic formula of Williamson's original movies. Ghostface may always be a slasher serial killer, but in showcasing killers with different levels of brutality, the whodunit nature of the movies can really toy with audience expectations of how far the various suspects are willing to go with their kills.